Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am up for the Oh So Inspired YouTube Hop that we have every 15th of the month. Today I am scrapbooking this one photo. It is of a tractor trailer that ran into a fire hydrant. You can barely see the fire hydrant squirt right here, but this is the best photo I have, and it's a memory, so I want to get it scrapbooked. I'm using these products. I have some white cardstock, some black cardstock, and actually a Christmas paper from Bella Boulevard that I'm going to use as triangles. I also pulled out a couple stickers and such things that I thought I could use. And our inspiration piece this month is from this layout on the A Cherry on Top gallery, and it's by Joni. And she has all this heart fringe. So I'm going to do fringe as well with my handy fringe scissors. So let's see what I can do. The first thing I did was cut my papers into about 2-inch strips, and then I'm just going to mark them. And this is my best tip for fringe. So whether you are creating just like a fringe border, or if you're creating a fringe heart, or if you're going to create a shaped fringe, this is probably my biggest tip. Mark where you do not want to cut past. Like, you need to make that mark on there. So I'm making those at like 1.25 inches and or 1 3/4 rather, or maybe 1 1/4 inches. I don't remember the exact measurement that I marked, but I chose the same exact measurement for all of them, and then I just drew a line all the way across. Now, I probably could have lined this up on my grid mat and then put the ruler on it and drew the line straight across instead of doing 2 different steps for this, but I didn't think about it at the time, so there you go. Now, this is going to show you where not to cut farther with your fringe scissors. Now, I am right-handed, so I like to fringe from the right to the left-hand side because I feel like I have more control over it. And then look at that. I love the fringe scissors. They are so much fun. So now I am going to start creating my fringe layout. So hopefully from the colors and the design that I have drawn out here, you can tell what I am doing. So I'm going to make a bullseye. Now, I had grand plans of making this bullseye and having the circle part of the fringe perfect, like actually figuring that out. And then I thought to myself, Sandy, the layout is not that important. And I don't mean it as the memory is not important to spend time on it, but the memory is not that important to spend that much time on it. Does that make sense? Sometimes we like quantify our memories and we quantify our photos. Like, this is really important. This was really special. And this is just one of those photos that, like, it happened, so I'm scrapbooking it. And that is this layout. It happened, so I'm scrapbooking it. Even the photo's not great, but still. So I decided not to go for the super perfect fringe. Just decided not to go for it. And I'm just using the fringy bits here, just kind of, using this template that I have as a guide to just know how far my fringe has to go and where it needs to overlap and that kind of thing. And this is definitely a very rudimentary bullseye. Once it's finished, you'll be able to see that as well. But I'm okay with it. Like I said, the photo is not that important. Like, I'm totally okay with it. And then when you're doing your fringe, you just got to figure out like how far you want your fringe overlap to be. Like, do you want it to be tight so you don't have a lot of overlap, or do you want it to be a little bit wider? So I chose my fringe to overlap about about a half to 3/4 of an inch, I'm supposing. And that wasn't a measurement, that was just what I eyed, and it looked good to me. So that's what I did. And we are just going to go ahead and keep on adding the fringe until I completely fill up the bullseye. Now, don't worry, I don't make you watch me fill up the entire bullseye. This is just me trying to like figure out what I'm doing here. And I think I probably, because I went with the rudimentary bullseye, I'm totally good with it. I think I probably just would have added just a tiny little bit more fringe, like tucked in on a couple spots, just to give it a little bit more of a circular feel. So even though it's very square, just to give it a little bit more of a circular feel. Like the very center of the bullseye, I wish I would have put in just a little bit underneath of it, a little bit of red underneath. So here is where I am using my my cardstock kind of as a template, and really just getting it in there. So here is where I determine that I need a little bit more fringe at the top. Like I want the whole bullseye to look like fringe. So I add another layer up here, and then I just add adhesive and pop. Yay! I popped down my circle cutout on top. So as you can see, it is a very rudimentary bullseye. It is very square, and I'm doing the magic fingers because I have no idea what I'm doing past that. Like this is as far as I got in my idea. I decide to mat the photo on white cardstock just to give it a pop. And while I'm matting the photo, let me take a second to just tell you to hop down to the link below and check out everybody in the Oh So Inspired collaboration. The ladies in the collaboration are super awesome. They always have tons of fun ideas, and I'm super stoked to see what they're going to come up with. Not everyone's a scrapbooker. We do have crafters that make cards. We do have crafters that do home decor for their inspiration piece, all kinds of fun things. Anything crafty, they just do it. So be sure to check them out. Now, I could have added a piece of unfun foam to the back of this photo, but I didn't. I've got these foam squares, so I might as well use them. This is where I decided to try to round it out a little bit, but it doesn't really work, and I don't know if I helped my layout by doing that or if I hindered it. There is one part that I messed up on, and then I try to cover it up, but it doesn't work, so I just go with it and leave it. So as I'm looking at this, you know how I said I would have added a little bit more red under that center bullseye? I think I would have added another little layer of white up at the top, just to give it more of a, like, an idea of being curved over there, and probably at the bottom as well, just a little bit peeking out, just to give it a little bit of extra bits, you know, extra bits to make sure that you knew that it really was supposed to be a circle. But like I said, I'm down with it. I was going to use that hashtag cute, but I decided to not go with the hashtag and instead go with these foam thicker arrows that came in a Vicky Bouton collection, and I couldn't tell you which ones it is, just couldn't tell you. I am excited though, because on that thicker sheet, I haven't been able to use these little, like, wow marks is what I call them. That's kind of like sticking out of the LOL. And this page was perfect for it. So I was super excited to be able to do that. Now this thickers does say note, but I'm changing it to not, so I've just got that random E. I'll probably just toss that random E, and I'm okay with that because I've used 99% of this thicker sheet anyway. So I'm going to get some more of those wow marks and place those down, and thankfully they are sticking on the fringe. Now this chipboard thicker, obviously not sticking to the fringe. It barely sticks to regular paper, so why would it stick to the fringe? I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive on the back of that, just to give it stability. And then I'm just adding in a couple more wow marks, add it in another arrow. And like I showed you guys on the intro of the video, you can see the fire hydrant behind the truck that is just spewing water. So I made sure that my arrow pointed to that, because otherwise you're looking at this and you're like, why is there a oh so not cute picture of a truck? And it's not really the truck that I need you to look at, it's the fire hydrant that is spewing all the water. So once I get that down on there, the only thing left is to add a little bit of journaling, and I do that down here at the bottom underneath of the photo. And oh, this is where I mess it up, guys. This is where I thought I was trying to add a little bit of curvature, and it's messed up. So I'm trying here, I'm like, well, maybe if I cover this up, but no, covering up is not an option. It looks even worse. So I decide to just go with it, and that's the way it is. So now I use my white pen to write down a little bit of journaling. I thought about doodling around the edge, but figured that was a little bit too much. I mean, there is a big fringe bullseye on this layout, so that's probably all it can handle. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. Be sure to subscribe so that you can see all the videos that I post. Hit the bell if you want notifications, and leave a comment if you would like to chat. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.